This is a typical humble road galley. 80/20, smooth face on the front. This is a bank of drawers. We have our sink, and we're able to get a drawer under it. This client doesn't want cubbies. She doesn't want cabinets. She wants drawers. So drawers is what we gave her. What's not so typical about this galley is we put the water tank at the bottom of the galley. There are certain van designs that require we put the fresh water tank in the galley because it won't fit anywhere else. It's not the end of the world. The cost is 2 drawers. You can see where this water tank is. We got a bank here. I could have had another drawer, and I could have had another drawer or a cabinet like we normally do, but she didn't want a cabinet, so we lost 2 drawers. Yeah, possibly we lost a whole nother bank of drawers because we also had to put our water heater in this bay in the galley. This is a short Ford Transit. This is Lisa's van, so it's a short mid-roof Transit. There's not a lot of room. She's got a twin bed along the sidewall, driver's sidewall. So we've got our Whale 6-gallon water heater suspended. There's a wheel well right here. Okay, we build to the max. We make sure we use every inch of space in a van, and we let the van speak to us. That's the reason this is configured the way it is. We don't lose any space. We had a little space above this water heater. We put in another drawer. We left space below it so I can run my water lines or a 3/4 inch glycol line up there if I need to. But as it stands, I use these U-shaped silicone heater returns, so my glycol will drop down through the floor of the chassis right here and go under the van up to the heat exchanger, come back on the other side, and come in back into the heater down there. And then my fresh water lines will most likely pick up the water pump and my manifold valves right here. There's about 6 inches here, 6.5 inches. That's a lot of space in a van build. So I'm probably gonna put a plywood cover on this, and we will put our water pump, our filtration, and our shutoffs. Now these drawers, we're using Blum soft close. We are not going to be using our clasp pullouts in this build. We're doing something different for one big reason. You see all this space between these drawers? We're going to reclaim that space. There used to be an aluminum bar going across the top of every drawer because we need a catch for that clasp handle. You know, the one we pull out? We need a bar for it to catch and hold. Well, the problem with that is when I have to take these drawers all the way out to work on whatever it is I mounted on that back wall, I'm in jail. I can't get past those bars. I'm going like this. No good. So we're going to use regular handles that bow from one side to the other. You've seen me use these handles in my mini-me's and my midi-me's. Now, how are we going to hold these drawers closed, you ask? Let me show you. What we're doing now is electromagnets. See this? We've got them on the back of the drawers. They're 12-volt DC, and they don't fail. They just don't fail. So when the drawers are open, this is the electromagnet, and this is the chunk of steel that it wants to stick to. Soft close, and it slowly matches, and the magnet will catch it and bring it in. I'm waiting for one more magnet to come, and we can complete this job and wire it up. So yeah, every magnet on every drawer is going to be controlled by one switch when you start the van. These are only activated when the van is running. This is the back side of the galley. You can see the simple 80/20 framing. There's a bust out in the van right here. This is our kick, we raise the galley up. This includes our 36 inches to the standard counter height, but that allows us to bury our water tank on the van floor. The galley doesn't start for another 3 inches. So that's how we make efficient use of that galley space. And here's a good example of how we work our drawer glides. I'll let you look inside here. See that? Now we've got to fly these cabinet drawers over the water tank. So we've got our verticals that hold up the countertop. Then we put a horizontal 80-20 this way. And we carry the weight of that all the way down. You can see here where it touches, comes all the way down to this part, which is on the floor. So, because in essence, this is doing nothing. On the end it is, because you see how we carry out our kick? We bring the kick all the way under, so all this weight is transferred down to the chassis floor. The kick starts in the front. So when you come down, this is a floater. This doesn't have any real support transferring the weight to the floor. That's why we put in these spacer plates. They go from one horizontal down to the kick, and it transfers the weight of all these drawers. Here's a very clean example of it right here. This is a drawer glide. Okay, this is the front of the galley. This is what we support all our drawer glides on. What's nice about this is we put one in the front, one in the back, and we can adjust yaw and pitch of every drawer independently. But now all the weight of those drawers is on this and this. We don't want that weight bearing on the water tank. So we carry the weight down through these spacers to the kick. The kick goes down to the floor. Isn't that cool? Look at this water tank. I love these whales. I love them. They're half the price of the isotemps, and they're 6 gallon. And they just happen to be a better footprint because they're a big square. It's 13, 13, 17, or 13, 13, 19 when you include the fittings. So they fit into our building scheme quite well. So there you have it. No more clasps on the front. We'll have smooth handles of your choosing and electromagnets. Now, people say, what are you going to do when the magnet fails? Well, these magnets rarely fail. There's nothing to fail. It's either on or it's off. There's nothing to burn out. They're in all the bank doors. You ever get buzzed into a business, a corporation, you get buzzed in, and you walk through the door? That magnet is on all the time. The buzz is when it's off. Same concept we're going to be using. When the buzzer is going, that means the magnet's not locked. Pretty cool, right? We've done it on the Mini-Me, number 8, and she's out and about. Everything's working fine. Now, what we're going to do in this particular case, as another first step, everybody's telling me you got to put an override on those magnets. Right now, if the engine's off, the magnets are not engaged, and you can open and close the drawers. The minute you start the engine, an ignition circuit comes alive, and it charges these magnets, and you cannot open the drawers. They're locked. I've gotten more comments from people saying, what if we start the engine and then we want to go and put our makeup on and we want to get our glasses out of the drawer and we want to decide to well, then don't start the van. You start the van when you're ready to leave. I don't want to include that override switch because that introduces human error. And we all know about human error. But I'm going to put in the switch. And Ron came up with a beautiful idea. We're going to tie that switch to an audible alarm with a flashing red light. So here's what happens. You start your engine, and then you decide you want to come over and make a cup of tea or put your makeup on while the engine's running, and you won't be able to open the drawer because the engine's running, the thing is locked. So you hit the override button. Now you can get in here. But that will allow an alarm to go off. Beep, 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 and a flashing light. Okay? As long as the engine's running and the override is activated, beep, 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 you're going to get that beep. So you better make that cup of tea fast and get your mascara on. And then you hit the override, the alarm goes off, the drawers are locked. Okay? So that's what we're doing moving forward.